From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. Roz. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Mocha.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
You know it.
Let's do the news.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Panthers held on to beat the Oilers 4-3 last night in Game 3 to take a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final.
And that's going to do it as it comes down the ice. And this one is in the books as the Panthers hold on for a 4-3 victory.
Go Panthers!
And once again, an absolutely fired up Connor McDavid talking to the media after the game.
I thought we had lots of looks. I thought the game was right there, and
No, I don't.
Yeah, just a couple of mistakes, and we find a way to score. I thought we did a good job of getting pucks to the net and bodies to the net.
Well, what else?
We can't score on the outside, and these guys got to get to the middle. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we haven't beat them in 3 games, and
I'll be.
We've had stretches of good, we've had stretches of bad.
But
go
on.
Yeah, we're trying to figure them out.
Oh, okay. You'll try to figure them out. Go Panthers. They're going to wrap up that series tomorrow night. Go Panthers, go.
God, it's so interesting.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
A teenage driver with a G1 license has been charged with multiple offenses after they were clocked traveling more than double the speed limit in Mississauga. OPP pulled the teen over on the 403 after clocking them at 214 kilometers an hour.
Damn.
Police say the teen, a 19-year-old girl, was charged with 7 driving offenses and handed a 30-day license suspension. The vehicle was impounded for 14 days, police say.
Did they say what vehicle?
No, they didn't. I wonder what vehicle. That sometimes helps, huh? I like to know what kind of hoopty they're in.
Are we talking like in a Lambo, or are we talking in like a Kia Forte XL?
No, it's usually it's
what? Oh, right. That's the car you drive.
Wow.
Cheesecake? Sorry, bro.
It's usually like their dad's Audi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on here.
It doesn't say?
OPP Mississauga.
I really hope it's a cheesecake. I mean, it's I really hope it's a Kia. Please say it was a Kia.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find this here. Let me just see if they have it. I got the story.
Do Kias go that fast, Sham?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not a Kia.
No. That's like my rental that I'm driving. Like I go so fast I don't even know I'm going. Because in my truck, like in my truck, like if you get over like 110 in the truck, like you feel like you're going
like
110.
It's shaking?
Oh my God, yeah. Like you feel like you're going through an asteroid field.
Yeah, the balance is off.
Oh, everything is off. It's hard to steer. You feel like you're gonna flip. Okay, hold on here. Mississauga, Ontario, please.
It doesn't say what car.
No, it doesn't say.
So no further details were released.
Come on.
And there's no picture or anything like that. Nah. Damn. Like, always, like, put the car. Why? Like, what does it matter, right? Just always put the car in.
Oh, hold on. They did. Okay.
Okay, you found it.
Hold on. On their Twitter.
I know. You can see the car, but it's all blurred out. Yeah, I couldn't tell what that is. I'm not much of a gearhead to know from the back what kind of a car that is.
Do
you know? I can't even see a logo on the back.
Just the shape of it? Is it a Lambo? It might be a Lambo.
No.
Either that
there's no way.
Either that or a Kia Forte XL.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Kia Forte XL.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fast. 214. Jesus.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Taylor Swift's Eras Tour is officially coming to an end. Here was Taylor last night in Liverpool talking to the fans during her 100th show.
This is actually
the 100th show of the tour. I think, a lot of people are like, well, how are you going to celebrate the 100th show? And for me, like, the celebration of the 100th show for me means this is the very first time I've ever acknowledged to myself and admitted that this tour is going to end in December. Like, that's it. And that feels like so far away from now, but then again, it feels like we just played our first show on this tour because you have made this so much fun for us. I want to spend the 100th show just thinking about that and living in this moment with you and being here with you. And just know that I appreciate every single ounce of effort that you put in to being with us when this tour reaches triple digits of shows. So thank you.
Can we just go back to this speeding car story?
Yeah, by the way, that if there's no more shows added, the final show, because she did say December, and December 8th is Vancouver. It's the Vancouver show. So it may wrap up in Vancouver.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The AI feature on Facebook and Instagram is apparently here to stay. You cannot opt out or delete it. A spokesperson for the company says that the new feature cannot, and they will not change it to allow people to disable the function. So it works like a chat bot where users can search for information. They always say this stuff, right? People in these companies, they know why people are doing this, right? But yet they always try and make it as wholesome as possible, as in our AI is like the good AI. So the way that they say it is, it now allows users to search for information like websites or recipes. They always throw recipes in there. It's always a recipe, right?
Chickling recipe.
So Meta's Privacy Center says that the feature saves messages and details you send it so it can carry on the conversation. So anytime you type into that, it saves it and starts building a profile for you so the AI can better communicate with you. So when you search for something, not only is it saved, but it's now building what they think you are. Okay?
Okay.
The only thing you can do is ask the AI to reset itself. And once you ask it to reset itself, all of your messages that you have sent through the AI will be wiped, and it'll be prevented from using any of that previous information in future conversations.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
AI, will you please delete this?
Yeah.
And AI is like, yep, no problem.
Yeah.
Delete it, gone.
Thanks.
I totally forgot about it.
Yep.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently there is a Motel 6 in Nebraska that is such a menace to the neighborhood that police are actually in contact now with corporate headquarters because they get so many calls telling them that there's some nonsense going on at the local Motel 6.
Like what?
Well, here's one of the cops, Captain John Sokolik, talking about how shady this Motel 6 is.
The night clerk was accepting ground beef as payment for a room. But we've been working with their corporate headquarters because their corporate headquarters, at last conversation we had, that location does not meet their industry branding standards.
Ground beef.
Can I pay you with beef? Sure.
Right? So they say that they are at that hotel so often that they're now dealing with it. But the problem is it's minor complaints. So people in the neighborhood call the cops on people in the motel, but nobody's filed an actual suit, right? Like nobody has, there's no charges to be pressed. So there's nothing they can really do.
Just people just paying with beef?
I don't know. I mean, what is going on in the rooms? If you found a motel that you could rent a room with ground beef, what do you think is going on in those rooms?
Yeah.
Is it one tray of beef per night?
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Nothing good is going on in that hotel.
Think of the absolute worst thing.
Oh my God.
Look at Shem licking his lips right now.
Nah, man.
Being paid in ground beef?
No, disgusted. Not licking.
Yes.
But they're accepting the beef, which is I guess the problem too.
Listen, man, you hire who you hire, right?
Yeah.
Guy probably had a name tag on too, right? You know what I mean?
Troy. I bet his name was Troy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Iowa Dabiri, who is one of the stars of The Bear, season 3 actually drops real soon. God, they crank out these seasons, huh?
Yep.
They've done 3 seasons in the time that it takes one of those Marvel shows to do one. right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, season 3 is
June 27th. It is when it is.
So excited.
Io actually directed one of the episodes. Here she is talking to Fallon.
The episode, it really centers on Liza, who plays Tina, and
Tina.
she is like a beautiful force of nature, and so I felt like I just had to show up and be my best because everybody was being their best, and it was really fun and collaborative. So
Congratulations, bud. Congratulations on that. I'm so excited for you.
I really like how the relationship or how they built up Tina's character throughout the...
Which one's Tina?
She is the Spanish one.
Oh, yeah.
Right? How they built up her character and the relationship between her and Sydney.
Yeah.
Right.
I really liked what they did in season 2, which is every episode pretty much focused on another character of the show. They each sort of got their own. I hope they do not do that for season 3 again.
I don't think they will. I think we all now know enough about each character that you can just keep building on the story.
I hope they do not.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
That Quiet on the Set documentary about Nickelodeon that came out a while ago and just like it was devastating what these kids on these shows, went through. And one of the criticisms that came out after that was, where's Ariana Grande?
Oh, yeah.
Because she was
all over
without
that.
question one of the biggest Nickelodeon stars, and she had not said anything about it. And she did. She was on Penn Badgley's podcast, and she talked sort of in circles about it. And now she's being criticized for not what she said, but really what she didn't say. And her response to this, especially after waiting for so long, I'll just play you a little tiny bit of it. Some people are saying she didn't go far enough.
He was just amazing. But a lot of people don't have the support that they need to get through performing at that level at such a young age, but also dealing with some of the things that the survivors who've come forward. And there's not a word for how devastating that is to hear about. And so I think the environment just needs to be made a lot safer all around.
Right.
She probably knew that question was coming, or her people did. And
I mean,
said, hey,
like it's a
answer
much
this way.
longer sort of clip, but there's nothing really in there. Like she talks about looking back at her childhood years on Nickelodeon through grown up eyes, where all the stuff that they were asked to do, because like all those clips have come out where she's like pouring water on herself and stuff like this and sucking on her own toes, like all this crazy stuff that they asked these kids to do. And she still in her head, she's still convinced that when they were telling her that this is, we're pushing the envelope and this stuff is funny, like she in the conversation on this podcast, she still sort of believes that, like in a way. It's I don't know, maybe she hasn't processed the whole thing, herself, and maybe it's unfair to even ask her to comment on it. I sort of am on the fence about it. But I know she was taking some real heat for staying quiet.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Armie Hammer is back.
Oh, no. What do you do now?
So he did a podcast. If you remember, back in like 2020, 2021, there was all these allegations that came out against him. So it started when an anonymous woman came forward to talk about how she had a 4-year-long affair with Hammer, during at which point he sent her graphic and violent texts about cannibalism and rape fantasies, and he wanted to drink her blood and all this stuff. And then another woman came out and alleged that he bruised her and branded her and coerced her and took photos without her consent. And then the LAPD opened up an investigation, eventually saying that due to the complexity of the relationships involved and the inability to prove a non-consensual, forcible sexual encounter, we are unable to prove the case, because these sort of cases where it may start out as two people who share a lifestyle, it's difficult to know when consent began and ended and all this other stuff. So they had to drop their case. So here's Armie Hammer on this podcast.
There were things that people were saying about me that just felt so outlandish.
Cannibal.
Yeah, that I was a cannibal. It's now I'm able to sort of look at it with a sense of distance and perspective and be like, that's hilarious. Like, people called me a cannibal and everyone believed them. They're like, yep, that guy ate people. And you're just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what you have to do to be a cannibal? You have to eat people. Like, how am I going to be a cannibal? Like, it was bizarre. But here's what I will say about it. even in the indiscrepancies, even in the whatever it was that people said, whatever it was that happened, I'm now at a place in my life where I'm grateful for every single bit of it. I'm actually now at a place where I'm really grateful for it because
what?
Where I was in my life before all of that stuff happened to me, I didn't feel good.
No.
I never felt satisfied. I never had enough. I never was in a place where I was happy with myself, where I had self-esteem. I never knew how to give myself love. I never knew how to give myself validation. But I had this job where I was able to get it from so many people that I never had to learn how to give it to myself.
But you did write
their flesh?
But he wrote all those things. And we know he wrote all those things because he had to confirm that those were his Instagram accounts and his messages, because at one point he posted something on Instagram from a hotel room because he was living in the Grand Cayman Islands and his family has deep roots in Grand Cayman. And he posted a picture of a woman in his hotel room and he was like, now I get to spend some time with Miss Cayman. Right? And then the authorities and the government at the Cayman Islands was like, you need to apologize, one, to the real Miss Cayman, but also the Miss Cayman Island Universe Committee. He was making a joke calling some woman Miss Cayman, but he wrote Miss Cayman. And then he had to confirm that those were his messages because he had to publicly apologize. So all that stuff we know came from him, right? All of it came from him. But apparently, you know, you grow up rich and I guess these are your problems. That's what he's saying. He never had enough love as a kid. I don't know what he was actually saying, but he has no career. Remember, he got people found him selling timeshares. He was like a timeshare representative at a hotel. Yeah.
Weird.
Call Armie at this extension, right? Yeah. Super weird, man.
Hey, you have 3 hours to spare?
3?
You ever done that?
No.
We got hustled into it once.
Yo, Shub said he got hustled too.
For my first time to Vegas.
That's
where it got you. Yeah, you too, bruh. They said.
Wait. Okay, cheesecake you first. They said what? How'd they get? First of all, where did they get you? What did they say to get you?
You want me to name the hotel? I probably shouldn't name the hotel. But
no.
They said, hey, 4 free nights. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wicked. I'm going to do that. And then this guy took me to like a Denny's and like to eat and took me around a bunch of, just me and him and my ex at the time. And then we went to a Denny's and he took us to this like condo and it was like 6-7 hours later, a whole day was gone. I'm like, bruh.
Did you get the 4 nights?
We met the representative in the lobby and got on a bus.
No.
And drove out to the desert.
No.
And sat in an industrial building while they did a 4-hour presentation. Do you know why we got? Do you know what got us there?
What?
Tickets to a topless show. We didn't get 4 nights in a hotel. We got tickets to a topless like variety show.
Did you go to the show?
Of course we did.
You had to.
And the seats were terrible.
All for boobs, huh? Damn.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently pickpocketing is on the rise in Toronto.
What?
I guess.
People still do that?
I guess. I don't know. There's a surge in pickpocketing incidents in Toronto. Security experts tell the Toronto Star that most incidents are happening in the entertainment district. Surprise, surprise. Young people, surprise, surprise, who are more vulnerable, surprise, surprise, because they're more likely to go to bars and nightclubs. Officials say that suspects are looking for anyone who are out socializing, dancing, or distracted is the big one, leaving their bags and or coats unattended. They also say that there's a risk on public transit, shopping malls, and festivals. So I guess like old school pickpockets. What are we, Spain?
Going back to that again?
Damn.
That's why I walk with my hands in my pocket on my wallet.
Yeah, until you get bumped. That's how they get you. They get you off balance when they see your hands in your pocket. Because the first thing you do when you're off balance is take your hands out of your pocket because you think you got a brace for a fall. As soon as that happens,
yoink.
Yep. That's how they get you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you see this video of Gordon Ramsay that he posted?
Yo, what
Crazy.
Oh my God. So I guess he was
Who's
cycling.
the idiot sandwich now?
I guess he was cycling. He was in Connecticut, and he's like a racing cyclist, right? Like he has like
not leisure.
You know, he has like the full spandex onesie on, the helmet. And he was talking about the importance of helmets, and it was a Father's Day message because I guess he got into a real bad accident. But at some point in the video, he lifted up his shirt, and his entire torso is purple. Like his entire body. Like when he lifted up his shirt, it looks like he was a SEAL. Right? Like he was.
Did he get hit by a car?
I don't know. He didn't say what happened. And then he took a picture and showed his helmet and what it looked like. And it was like all mangled on the front of it.
God
right?
he's wearing a helmet.
So here's Gordon Ramsay.
Hi guys, it's Gordon. I'd like to share a very important message with you all. You know how much I love cycling and triathlons and Ironman, etc. This week, unfortunately, I had a really bad accident, and it really shook me. And honestly, I'm lucky to be here. Now, from those incredible trauma surgeons, doctors, nurses in the hospital that looked after me this week, they were amazing. But honestly, you've got to wear a helmet. I don't care how short the journey is. I don't care, the fact that these helmets cost money, but they're crucial. Even with the kids, a short journey, they've got to wear a helmet. Now, I'm lucky to be standing here. I'm in pain. It's been a brutal week, and I'm sort of getting through it. But I cannot tell you the importance of wearing a helmet.
Yo, I co-sign that.
Yo.
Absolutely.
Did you see the picture?
Yeah. It's disgusting. I'm not disgusting like...
No, it's like I didn't even know a body like that's one bruise.
Yeah. That's
right?
terrible.
That's one bruise.
Like that time, when I was doing those crazy BMX flips, when I was at the professional bike park, doing those insane stunts, like X Games style.
Yeah.
I was wearing a helmet because when I landed, it was like shoulder, but also head first, and I slammed into a wall head first. Thank God for the helmet.
Yeah. When I was at the X Games, the story has changed so much. It's changed so much.
When I was training. The X Games. No, I remember.
Yeah.
I told you guys, like Shaun White was there.
Yeah,
I know he's a snowboarder and everything, but he was just like,
I know.
What? Tips and tricks to get into the X Games.
I know. Didn't the original story also said that Tony Hawk was like, oh my! Isn't that what you said?
But he drove me to the hospital.
Oh, he did. Okay, cool. I
Nice
gotcha.
guy. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Alicia Keys and Jay-Z reunite for the 2024 Tony Awards to do
Tony Awards?
Empire State of Mind.
Had to do something crazy. It's my hometown.
Yeah, I'm out that Brooklyn. Now I'm down that Tribeca, right next to the narrow, but I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra, and since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem.
This was a way better and way more live crowd for Jay-Z with Alicia Keys than at the Tom Brady Hall of Fame celebration when Jay-Z was solo. Quite a different crowd.
Yes. And these two together is the first time in like 5 years, I think, they did this. They did a Times Square thing together for BET. But I'll tell you, this, the Tony Awards last night, just star-studded. Like, it was crazy.
Didn't even know what was happening.
And Jay-Z wasn't even in, they did this performance in the lobby.
Oh, really? Huh?
They weren't on the stage. They had a screen on the stage. Jay-Z was on the stairs in the lobby.
Because he had to go.
Yeah.
It's likely they did this because they just celebrated 1 billion streams over the weekend.
Well, this is to
No, I know. I'm just saying as a way to promote it as well. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but there was like Daniel Radcliffe was there last night, and Angelina Jolie was on stage.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And it was like what a star.
Hillary Clinton was on stage.
Excuse me.
Hillary Clinton was
Hot
there.
sauce in her bag and everything.
It was a wild night.
Wow.
I don't know where your head goes, Maury, when we start talking about a wild night playing Jay-Z, and you're like, Hillary Clinton was there.
Matthew's on the couch saying this was the best Tony Awards he's ever seen.
Same.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Bam. LCBO workers have voted 97% in favor of going on strike. The Ontario Public Service Employees Union, which represents the LCBO workers, says more than 8,000 members took part in a vote, but did not say when potential job action could begin, adding that it has yet to file a no board report in talks with the government. So talks on this new contract have actually been going on since March, with the big sticking point being assured assurances that jobs won't be lost as a result of the new legislation that allows corner stores to sell alcohol and beer, and I guess just like beer and wine and pre-made cocktails. I guess your Vizzies, or is that what they're called? Vizzies? Vizzios? Your Mike's Hard and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to get a Mike's Hard soon.
All right.
In the corner store, and I guess they're worried that it's going to affect them and their future and their jobs. And so 97%, that's a big number.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Stanley Cup Finals, it's going back to Florida on tomorrow night? Is that when the game?
Tomorrow night, go Panthers.
That would be game what, 6?
No,
5? Game 5. So it was a massive blowout on Saturday. Edmonton Oilers finally catching some heat, and they beat the ass off the Florida Panthers. 8-1 was the final score, and you would think...
Wild. Yo, they partied so hard in Edmonton Saturday night.
Bro, to Chase Bobrovsky, who's one of the best that we've seen in a very long time, out of the net in a cup-clinching game
In
is
the second
incredible.
period.
This is an absolute fired-up rally the troops. We are going to war. Connor McDavid.
Connor, what kind of injection of life was this night for your group?
Yeah, obviously we needed it. And it feels good. Feels good to survive another day and go down to Florida and look to do the same.
For all the talk through the series of the chances and the quality looks, is it almost therapeutic in a way for the amount of goals you were able to put in and who it came from?
Yeah, we felt like it was going to break. We felt like we were going to have find a way to score some goals, and we did tonight. And we got to repeat it.
What did you like about the way your team approached this whole day today?
Here we go.
Just calm. Just calm. There's nothing to panic about, We're still in a hole. There's no pressure on us, really. We just got to find a way to get a win in Game 5 and go from there.
Yo, this guy got to watch some old wrestling promos or something.
I don't know what needs to happen that they get hockey players fired up, man. It's really quite remarkable.
But they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Yes. It's like they went to training.
They're all
That's it.
the same.
Yeah.
Hockey U.
Yeah, they're all this. Meanwhile, the guy's got no teeth because pucks and stuff fighting.
But still,
David has his teeth.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
It's so wild to me.
That was the craziest game. The craziest game of your career, bro.
Are they like that in their personal life? Like if you go on a date with them, is that how they are?
No, I doubt it.
How do you know, Maria?
No, I don't know anything.
Now we know.
I know nothing.
I don't know anything.
I know nothing.
Which hockey players you've been on dates
Nothing, none.
No.
None at all.
Any that we know?
No, none
Soccer?
at all.
Soccer?
No, none
Okay.
at all.
Baseball.
None at all.
Basketball.
Volleyball. Oh, I think we got one.
Yeah.
None at all.
Volleyball.
No, because
I said basketball. And
when
she
you
put,
said that, she put the
basketball.
She covered her face.
Nothing. Literally none at all.
Okay, I don't know. Just curious.
Badminton.
Badminton.
Yeah, there we go. Badminton.
Yeah. You got polo player written all over you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jelly Roll. Love Jelly Roll. Anytime there's new Jelly Roll, love to hear from Jelly Roll. Talking about it's not what's the song called? I'm Not Okay, right?
I'm Not Okay.
That's the name of the song?
It's such a bro.
Yeah, and
you have to be in a certain mindset to listen to some of these tracks from Jelly Roll.
Yeah, I agree. But he's so great at sort of explaining his motivations behind it, because a lot of artists don't. They kind of go a little bit internal, where you can't even really understand when somebody says, "Oh, I wrote this for the fans," and then what they say afterwards is just completely unrelatable.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing Jelly has this thing that very few other artists do, which is he is able to speak in a way that just not only directly connects with fans, but hits you right in the heart with everything, man.
Can I just play a little bit of
please.
The super sad song?
Yeah.
But it's also amazing. Jelly Roll, I'm Not Okay.
I am not okay. I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of day.
Oh my God.
Losing sleep at night. I am not okay. I'm hanging on the rails. So if I say I'm fine, just know I learned to hide it well.
Oh my God. Come on, dude. It's such a beautiful song.
So here's Jelly.
I wrote
I am not okay because a lot of people in the world are not okay. It doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. People still have problems. Mental health is real. I have prided myself on being a person that makes real music for real people with real problems, and it's okay to not be okay. I hope this song helps people or at least lets them know they are not alone.
Oh, Jelly Roll is a real
Right?
one.
Isn't it great?
Just straight up facts, man.
Yeah. No.
Jelly.
Where has he been all our lives?
Yeah, he's just, doing crime.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
We're covering addict and all that stuff.
Yeah, like
We're
putting
happy you're here now.
Putting his life together, like just
Yeah.
getting out of it, like a lot
big
of
up Jelly Roll,
like
man.
a lot of great poets, like a lot of great artists. Jelly went through it. A lot of other people had to go through it, but man, Jelly on the other side of going through what Jelly went through is really just something to like. I don't know, like just praise the guy. He's just dynamite in everything he does.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you watch this? All these clips about Joe Biden on stage in New York. They did this big Joe Biden fundraiser.
Was it the one with Obama?
Yeah.
Did
he get lost again?
Well, yeah. Everybody's saying there's like now people are looking at this. It's one of these things where people are looking at the same video, and depending on how you feel politically, they're seeing two different things.
Okay.
Some people are seeing Joe Biden freezing at the front of the stage in front of a room full of like people,
Yeah.
right? Celebrities and everything else. And then Obama has to grab him by the hand and lead him off stage,
Oh, no.
right? Or other people look
Bruh.
at that exact same video and say nothing happened, right? There's literally people going to war over the same
Like
video.
Biden supporters saying?
Yes, Biden supporters saying that never happened.
How can you see that video and say nothing happened?
I don't know. Like to me, especially when you look at what happened in, at the G7 where he's wandering around, like all this
Italian
stuff, right?
Prime Minister had to go grab him by the hand.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this way, man.
Yeah, right? Like all this stuff.
Poor
but,
guy.
But watching Obama just sort of like grab him, like there's at some point.
You grabbed him by the hand or the wrist?
He grabbed him by the wrist first,
Yeah.
and then put his hand on his shoulder and let him off stage. And I'm not saying I'm no expert in cognitive decline and all this stuff, but at some point it starts to really feel like elder abuse.
Yeah.
You
What, to
know?
have the man run the country?
Like to just keep putting him out there. Like if he clearly is going through episodes where he doesn't know what's going on or where he is, like that's abuse.
So when Obama
really
grabbed him
is.
by Joe Biden by the wrist,
Yeah.
put his hand on his back.
Yeah.
Did Joe like he knew it was Obama?
Yeah, he was standing there. I mean, I
No,
guess
he turned around slowly and kind of just followed
Just
Obama
followed him.
like a robot.
yeah, like it's sad,
Bruh.
right?
That's like how I lead you out of here every day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, I didn't know this, but I guess you can now return. I don't even know if I care about this, to be honest with you. You can now return Amazon orders through Staples. Is that a big deal to anybody?
Yeah.
that's
Is it?
amazing.
Yeah, it's great. You get a code, and then you bring it to Staples, and they package it and do everything for you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because
Okay.
right now, you got Canada Post, you got UPS.
Here later.
Penguin
Pure
pickup,
later.
right? Yeah.
I
There's a
love-
bunch of places,
I
though.
love the addition of Staples.
I guess for me, because I live in the city, right? Like, and they're like all of those other places are much closer to me than a Staples.
Sure.
Like I got to travel to go to a Staples, right? But I guess if you have a Staples close, it's very convenient, right?
Yeah, there's one right by my house. I got to make some Amazon returns this week.
Oh, there you go. So all you got to do is like you have to fill out, like you got to create a profile form kind of thing, and then fill that out, and then when you bring it to Staples, they box it up and ship it back.
Amazing.
So there you go.
The best.
Yeah, good news. See, I learned something today.
There you go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Boston. Oh my God, Boston. Could you imagine living in Boston with all those championships?
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
You know they're still wilding out in Boston.
And with 18, they surpassed the Lakers with this one, right? That's the number that hurts right
This is
there.
the dynasty now.
That is the number that hurts. Here is Celtics Jason Tatum after the game.
Oh my God. It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it! Oh my God, we did it. We've been through a lot as a team over this last couple years, over my 7 years. What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now?
Bro, Jason Tatum with the new Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible! We did it! And
What was their record? Like 16-3 or something like that in the playoffs?
They barely lost. They were pretty dominant.
Bro, and that was what was it, 106,
88?
It was kind of a bum series, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, nobody thought Dallas was going to win. I mean, nobody thought Dallas was going to make it this far.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A U.S. Secret Service agent was robbed at gunpoint in Los Angeles over the weekend. Remember how they had that big giant Biden thing, the fundraiser where Biden was there and Obama was there and everything else? So I guess he was off duty at the time and he was just in L.A. somewhere and he got somebody pulled a gun on him and took his bag.
They probably didn't know.
No, they didn't know, but he also had a gun and I guess he shot at the guy. Didn't get the guy. The guy got away and they found some of his things from his bag somewhere. I don't know.
Did they say what neighborhood?
No.
I'm just making the movie up in my head now.
No.
Did he roll into the wrong neighborhood wearing the wrong colors?
That's the thing. I mean, they just wear black, right? I guess off duty he could be wearing anything, right?
Yeah.
But
you wear the color red in the wrong neighborhood?
Yeah, but don't know if it was Biden's detail or if it was Obama's detail because Obama you get Secret Service for life when you're president, right? God, what a perk that is.
Well, that's Trump has Secret Service?
Yes, everybody does.
Yeah.
So convicted felon
I
has
think that they
Secret
tried
Service.
to take Trump's Secret Service away. I'm trying to remember what it was. But yeah, as soon as you're the president, you get Secret Service for life.
That's
right?
cool.
I know.
Yeah.
What a perk. That is got to be the greatest perk ever.
Yeah.
As far as the airlines go or the loyalty or the Sephora points or anything, right?
That was so good. They would just,
Maria would give up Secret Service for life if she got unlimited Sephora points.
Oh yeah, if it was me, if it was Sephora or Secret Service, Sephora hands down, unlimited.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's Secret Service for life. Though, huh?
Yeah, incredible.
And because it was crazy because when Jimmy Carter left the White House, Jimmy Carter went back to the home he lived in, on this tiny little farm before he became president. If you look at where Jimmy Carter lived after he was the president, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny little house just sort of in the middle of nowhere. And whenever you see pictures of it, there's always 3 big SUVs in the driveway. I mean, it's just him and his wife sitting on the porch, right?
Lemonade.
Yeah, right.
Do you have to offer them lemonade too?
Yeah, I guess you do.
They become your family.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happens. But that's kind of cool.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Katy Perry released a snippet of a new song. You let me know what you because it's been a while since we had some new Katy Perry.
Yeah.
You let me know.
Do we know the name of it?
It's called Woman's World.
Okay.
Sexy, confident, so intelligent. She is heaven sent, so soft, so strong.
Wow, that was so bad.
Nope.
It sounds like it was written by Gen 1 AI, right?
Dua Lipa owns this space that she's trying to get to now.
That's
Lyrically, it may be one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life.
I understand the point of the
and
song.
I love Katy Perry.
But this ain't it, girl.
Play that again?
No.
Just one more time.
Okay.
Sexy, confident, so intelligent. She is heaven sent.
Wow.
So soft, so strong.
Maybe she should use AI.
Yeah, it's not.
I just think she's in the wrong era with that song.
It's not a good song.
Maybe. I don't want to judge. I haven't heard the whole thing.
Oh,
but
I will. That's
I think I heard enough to know.
Yeah, that's all of us. All of us.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, has called on U.S. Congress to add warning labels to social media platforms, saying that platforms can cause adverse health effects. Warning labels, much like the ones that they put on alcohol and tobacco products, require approval from Congress, but historically they've been very effective. So when the U.S. government put warning labels on cigarettes nearly 60 years ago now, 42% of U.S. adults smoke cigarettes. By 2021, that number was 11.5. So they want to now start labeling. I don't know how that would work, like when you open the app or something
like a pre-roll.
So, maybe like a pre-roll.
Or after a while, maybe like after, scrolling for so long, maybe a pop-up.
Well, there already is that on TikTok.
But what do they show though?
It
Like
tells
on-
you to take a break. Ask you if you want to take a break, right?
Yeah.
But like because like on a pack of cigarettes, they'll show you like what your mouth is going to look like, right? With like it's horrific.
Yeah. Or
but
what
like
your lungs look like.
Yeah, but like what do they? But what is the actual like? What is the hard hitting sort of like warning on social? Like what does that warning look like? I don't know. They'd have to figure that out.
Probably like what your lips look like. you send pictures that they put on cigarette packets.
Yep.
That's what happens when you use social too much.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Edmonton Oilers fan who went viral for
cheering too much,
flashing her boobs
at
that game. Do you remember? Did you see that video?
No,
you didn't.
Once or twice.
Right. So she went like the video went crazy viral.
Not shocked.
And then she showed up on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, and then everybody just started going in on her, and now she's getting a bunch of hate. Like it was crazy. It was like, what was that? What's the line of Batman? Like, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what happened to this poor girl. It was crazy. People
once or twice, Shem. Yeah, all right, pal.
Oh yeah.
Like people just really started going in on her. Anyway, she has now come forward to do her own video response. This is Kate.
Oilers girl. Actually, my name's Kate, but here we are. So I've thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to everybody. But I just wanted to say, you could be the most perfect, godly person in the world. You could save kittens from a river if they were drowning. Someone's still gonna hate you. So you know what? At the end of the day, I got drunk and whipped my out at an Oilers game and they went viral. If you don't like it. Woo! Go Oilers!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she got like people just went in on her. Like that turned fast, man.
But somebody did it. A Panthers fan did it.
Yeah,
I think on Saturday night, that Saturday night's game, or maybe game 3 or something.
I don't know. I'm
So
not.
I heard.
I don't
Shem told
subscribe to that RSS feed.
Sorry, Shem told me.
Oh yeah.
Shem said that. I sent you a Bible meme. That's about it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Scooter Braun has left artist management. So Scooter Braun, of course, historically repped Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, and then that all went to hell. So now he's just working full-time at the music rights company thing, whatever. Taylor Swift fans are over the moon with this. They all are. Some of the comments are like, this is what going against Taylor costs you. It's called Tay Voodoo.
God. What? Oh, my God.
Okay. But, like the thing that the Taylor fans and whatever, they can hate Scooter Braun. And everybody backed away from Scooter Braun after, at the right time. It's not like he's leaving. Like his entire roster ditched him, right?
Yeah.
Back then.
But let's not forget that, like, to the Taylor Swift fans, love Taylor Swift fans, right? But, like, the idea that he comes out on the short end of this, he made $300 million off Taylor's catalog.
Yeah, he's still making money.
Right? Like, this isn't a failure.
Yeah.
You can still be pissed at the man.
Oh, poor Scooter. What's he going to do now?
Like, this is what you get. Well, I
Yeah.
mean...
Along with the millions.
Yeah, right.
He still gets to hang on to.
Yeah. God, that was dirty, that whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There was something else I wanted to play for you here. Oh, Jennifer Lopez, we know, is really going through it. So the divorce is happening. The $60 million house that she and Ben Affleck had.
Tour canceled.
Like, she invested her own money in that movie. Like, everything just went wrong this past year for Jennifer Lopez. So John Peters, who is a film producer, and he did J-Lo's 1995 movie Money Train.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing an interview in the new TMZ and Hulu documentary called J-Lo and Ben Missed Warning Signs. God, if you go your whole life without somebody doing one of those about you, that's a success. So J-Lo and Ben Missed Warning Signs. So this is the plan that John Peters said would revive J-Lo. You listen to this and you tell me if you think he's onto something.
Her career needs to change. I told Betty Medina, her manager, she needs to sell everything, get a rented house, get a beautiful house, and move to Nashville and do a country and western album. You'll be a monster. You get every young guy, Shania Twain. We should do it at the Grand Ole Opry. And I said,
great idea.
And I'll fund it. Don't need a record company. I'll put up all the money. We'll own it. She'll go out there, bang. I hope she hears this.
No, that's another fail. That is another fail.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez doing country?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Nah, bro.
No.
No.
That's a huge L.
Yeah. Is it because when you're in Nashville, you have to sing your own songs?
Wow.
Ooh,
I'm just asking. That's not like just a question. Wow. It's just a question. I don't know, right? But isn't it though? Like, right?
Get a retro music.
Blew up her whole career.
But hey, it works, right? You know, like you see what happened to Beyonce. Although Beyonce's like just disappeared, like she's MIA. Like she released that record and she's just like
because
she
all the
ghosted everyone.
Diddy
right?
stuff
Is that what it
happened.
is? You think so? It's the Diddy stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you think
She
so,
had
right?
like 3 heater records on that album.
Yeah.
That were destined to be monsters.
Right.
And once that Diddy stuff happened, and then her and Jay-Z just went into seclusion.
Right.
Because Jay hadn't been seen until recently. Last week, he was at the Tom Brady Patriots Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
And then this week, he was at the, was it Tony Awards with Alicia Keys?
Yeah.
Other than that, like maybe a couple of basketball games, but like no big public appearances.
How did J-Lo sort of skate all this backlash from the Diddy stuff?
Great
Like,
question.
you haven't really heard her name into all this.
She's Diddy's ex.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's got all the Ben Affleck stuff that she's dealing with right now.
I
right?
know,
I
but
guess.
I guess that's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, it's a lot. But anyway, country, yes, no.
No.
For J-Lo. Okay, never mind. I'm just asking.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Steve-O from Jackass and Post Malone have been friends for a bit, and they've tattooed each other before, but Steve-O made good on his word that for Steve-O's 50th birthday, he would allow Post Malone to tattoo a wiener on his face.
What?
So here is Steve-O.
Are you nervous? First time?
A little bit, yeah, dude.
Very experienced. I love you, Steve-O.
I love you, Austin.
All right. Let's party hardy. I'm going to start with the part closest to your eye.
I would say start with the balls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
You got it. You ready?
Yep.
Oh my God, they're doing it.
Oh, you okay?
Yep.
Now you're styling, boy. You're styling. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. Are you ready for a good look at this tattoo? Well, first, let me tell you why I got it. It's to find out how long I last before I tap out and get it lasered off. I'm determined to make it at least through my next whole tour, which starts this Friday. And it's the craziest show I've ever put together because it actually explores what I have to do with my art to cross the line. And I'll have you know, I'm crossing the hell out of it. So make sure you catch me on tour. Get a load of this.
Okay, so it's big. Like, so it's not like a little tattoo, like on the side of his eye kind of hit thing. It goes like the entire length of his eyebrow over his eye.
Oh my God. All the way down his cheek?
Like, all the way
Just
down to
his
the
eyebrow.
corner of his eye.
It
like,
curves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like and it's not a very good tattoo.
No,
at
of course
all.
not.
But it's bad. But it's just good enough that you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like, have you seen it, Sham?
Nope.
You seen it, Maureen?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's weird because like those things aren't really that hard to draw, but
Well,
he
I
didn't
mean,
do the best job.
No, but tattooing is
is
like,
very
that's
difficult,
a whole
man.
other. You haven't seen it, Mocha? Did
Google
you see
it.
it?
No.
Google it.
You saw it.
I did not.
Go to,
I saw...
go to TMZ right now. Just Google Steve-O penis tattoo.
Better add tattoo to that.
Tattoo TMZ. Years ago, when I met Steve-O, he was really at his like lowest low point with just drinking and drugs and everything else. And he showed me his wiener in that interview, by the way. And unsolicited too.
Look at that tattoo. Oh my God.
Yeah, and at the time, Steve-O had the F word tattooed across one set of knuckles and the S word tattooed across the other set of knuckles. And we were doing the interview sitting on the edge of his bed, and I had said, well, like, what happens years from now, like, you know, if you don't want any of these things? Because he was just like crazy tattooing anything on his body that he wanted. And he said, well, if at ever a point that comes where I have kids and I can't have the F word tattooed on one knuckles and then the S word on the other ones, he's like, I can just go to the tattoo artist and have him change it to ship and book. But he got those lasered off. He doesn't even have those anymore.
Oh, he
So
doesn't?
no, he had a lot of them. He had a lot of them lasered off because if you're on Jackass, they would do crazy stuff, right? So
There was
I think
one I remember. They were in a dune buggy.
Yeah, and then they
Right.
tattooed somebody.
Like a smiley face on him?
Yeah, and that was huge,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway, so Steve-O, see how long this lasts, but it is a crude looking tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There was a Modern Family reunion in a new commercial for WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So it's Cam, Mitch, Phil, and Claire, and they're on the Modern Family set. Like it's like I guess that thing still exists,
Amazing.
right? And they just brought everything out, and so it's them sitting there, and it's shot to look exactly like Modern Family. It was so great to see them all sort of back together.
The picture Haley sent of the twins, it's so precious.
Oh, let me see.
It's in the group chat.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. I don't see it. You started a family chat without me? Oh, shame!
No, look, it's not you. It's just it's your new phone.
Blurry photos, weird likes.
You know, if your group has different phones, just use WhatsApp. It's seamless and private.
Oh, this is fun. I still can't believe you cut me out.
Well, we may have cut you from here, never from here.
This is nice to see them.
That's such a good show.
I miss
Love
that show. Yeah, they were all good. They all look exactly the same. Like it's like none of them have changed drastically. Like you just throw them on the set, and they just it
just works.
Like Phil's hair is still Phil's hair. Claire still looks like Claire. Cam, you put the shirt on him with the weird cuffs. He's Cam. Like his body hasn't changed at all. It's wild.
Yeah.
And that's been a long time since Modern Family went off the air.
I love that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And I was just reading this article because I know it's wedding season, and it was an article on wedding etiquette, and the headline is it time to stop inviting plus ones to weddings?
Ooh.
Oh.
Because the common wedding etiquette, especially when dealing with single guests, like your single friends, is that if they're traveling, okay, or they don't know many of the other attendees at the wedding, it's nice to give a single person a plus one. It is not required, but it is nice to sort of extend that plus one. Of course, people in serious relationships, that is absolutely essential. But do you owe a plus one to everyone at a wedding? That's the question, because what if it's your best friend who just got dumped? Do you give her a plus one so she can just bring some rando that you may not even know to your wedding? You know what I mean?
What are you looking at me for?
I'm not looking at you. You made a face.
Oh, I missed the face.
I didn't make no face.
You made a face.
I mean, because you looked at me.
I know, I didn't. So the other question, what about somebody who you know who is now dating your ex from college?
No.
Do they get a plus one?
That's weird.
Do you even get an invite?
But what if they're a friend? And it's been years.
I think there's a
You don't
timeline
care,
rule.
but maybe your wife would, or your new husband
There's
would.
a timeline rule.
Right?
yeah.
So what would you say the timeline is, Maria? Because they have it listed here.
I think if you are in a serious relationship and have been dating this person for longer than a year, you get a plus one.
You say longer than a year.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
in a year, I might not have met that person, or I maybe have met them once. It doesn't warrant you a plus one, especially if you have a time people restriction, excuse me. And then I think anything less than a year, or if they're just newly dating, you don't get a plus one. You're automatically single.
They say 6 months or living together is what they say.
Okay.
Also, no Tinder dates to a wedding, because I think that's what people are worried about now.
People have, yeah.
Yes, they have.
I think that's
Yes,
weird.
they have.
Somebody just texted and said, my family's rule, you got to be together for a year.
A year.
Yeah.
The old rule used to be no ring, no bring. Like you had to be married in order to get a plus one.
wow.
There was no singles or living together. But yeah, so that's the question now, because weddings, everything is just so expensive for
Yeah, of
people
course.
that it's who gets does everybody automatically get a plus one? Can everybody bring a date?
You get a smaller
to
gift
your-
if you
to
don't
your-
do a plus one.
to your wedding.
I have a couple weddings coming up, but I don't have a plus one.
You don't get a plus one, right? No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Maria-
DMs are
Maria's DMs are going to be so wild as
No,
of today.
I don't need one. I don't have the space.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Wow, Oilers did it last night.
Yo, what the
We're going to game 6.
Clock winding down. That is Game 6 sound of the Stanley Cup Final. Friday night at Rogers Place.
Connor McDavid, 8 points in 2 games. Yeesh. That one assist he had where he just, oh my God.
He must have been.
Makes people look so bad.
He must have been so excited.
Well, that's the whole thing is that, you know, now everybody's like, okay, we're going back to Edmonton.
Yeah, we got a game here.
They put 8 goals in the net the last time they were in Edmonton. 2 games in a row. They've chased Bobrovsky out of the net.
Crazy.
So I know we say this a lot, but it's always great to hear and just an absolutely fired up Connor McDavid.
It's been a fun ride. We're glad it's going to go one more day, but that's all we've earned here is another day, another flight.
Talk to him. What else?
And we'll be ready to go in Edmonton on Friday.
Whoa.
Okay. Is it
Calm
Friday
down,
night? Is
bro.
it Friday night?
Yeah.
Is that the game? Friday?
Calm down, Connor.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, listen, man.
Got a
They're
game.
doing it. They're putting it together.
Listen, there's a reason why they're Canada's team right now.
Here we go.
That is why the country
Bring the
supports
cup
them,
home.
right?
Bring the cup
It's
home.
been way too long, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it up. Connor McDavid, the GOAT, as they call him.
Bring it home. It's been too long. The drought.
Yeah, do it one time.
Oh, the drought is almost over.
One time for the ends. One time.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There was a shooting at Vaughan Mills yesterday.
Bro, that's crazy.
So a woman in her 20s was found in the Vaughan Mills Mall parking lot with a gunshot wound. She died. Police were called there. It was like yesterday afternoon. It was like 5:30 in the afternoon yesterday. She was taken to the trauma center, pronounced dead, and officials say that they now have 2 male suspects in custody, but no charges have been laid as of yet. What is going on in Vaughan, man?
I don't know. That's targeted for sure.
Yeah.
That's not a random.
That used to be your hood, though, right?
Yeah. I was just at that mall the other day.
Were you?
I'm going back tomorrow.
To do what? What do you do? What business do you got there?
Pick up a couple of things.
Like what? What do you got to
Just
pick
stuff.
up? Like what? Tell me. Why
Bro,
won't you tell me? Why
you
are
know
you being so
Vaughan Mills?
secretly?
No, so you know at Vaughan Mills, right?
Yeah.
They got.
I've never been.
They hold the line at certain stores.
What are you talking about?
So I went to go to the Nike store.
Yeah.
A long ass
they do that now.
lineup.
They do that now. They do
Yeah.
that now. Well, so many stores do that. So many stores do that, and they have it listed on the outside of the store how many people are allowed in at one time.
Yeah, I walked by and I was like, no, I'm not waiting in that line. So
Yeah.
I went tomorrow.
Yeah, thieves, right? That's
Yeah.
why. That's the new. That's
I'm
the
gonna
new
go
world.
I'm gonna go steal some stuff. Just kidding. I'm not doing that, by the way. But I am going to be at the mall.
Okay. What time exactly? Tell people. Tell fans in case they want to go meet
shut
you.
up, no.
What time's your appearance at Vaughan Mills?
No, it's not an appearance. I'm
You just said you were doing an appearance at Vaughan
I
Mills.
never said
at the
appearance.
Nike store.
Where's the
Isn't that
autograph
what you
table?
said? Isn't
Huh?
that what you said that you're going to do an appearance at the Nike store?
Not an appearance.
Oh.
I'm going to be.
Stealing is what I thought you said.
I'm not stealing. I was
Okay.
just kidding, guys.
Yeah. If you would like to go and loot Vaughan Mills with
No,
Mocha.
no.
That's not what you're doing.
I'm
Then I
not.
don't know what your business you have there.
Bro,
you
if
still
there's
won't tell
I'm
me.
not going to the mall no more. Watch. There's gonna be a looting at that thing tomorrow.
Yeah, get that.
I'm not going. So forget it. I'm not going to the mall. I got plans.
Okay, whatever. All right. But
Do
you'll let us
something
know.
else.
You'll let us know when you reschedule though, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jelly Roll was talking to Howard Stern yesterday about his tattoos. Jelly got like a ton of tattoos.
And on his face.
On his face and everything, right? But are there any tattoos that he regrets?
I love my cross. I love my slash. So I have a tattoo on my arm that I gave somebody like a quarter sack of bad weed for. And it looks like a quarter sack of bad weed tattoo. They look decent because they're all grouped together. So you're like, they don't look horrible, Jelly. It's like until you dissect them and zoom in and you're like, these suck bad. You know, there's just no other way to say it.
Yeah, that would bother me.
Yeah. I guess when you just get so many of them, it doesn't matter anymore. Jelly is managing to make his way to Canada, though.
Is he?
Yeah, because he
They're
was
letting
talking
him in?
about. Yeah, he was talking about how difficult it was because of his felony charges to book a world tour to even leave. Canada's very difficult for felons to get into. But he's going to perform at the Meridian Centre in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Oh,
at
sick.
an event benefiting the Heather Winterstein Foundation. This is July 8th, and then he's going to do a performance at the RBC stage at Ottawa Blues Fest on July 9th. So
The day after I leave from Ottawa, I'm so upset.
Yeah, you're not going to Blues Fest.
I am. I'm going to see Nickelback at the Ottawa Blues Fest.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow.
Nickelback?
You learned-
Yeah. They still perform?
They performed last year at the film fest. It was incredible.
Nickelback could fill like stadium if they wanted to.
No, I just had no idea. I didn't know that they still perform. That's
they do,
awesome.
but they're low key about it because you know why take that kind of heat, right?
Yeah.
You know they don't need to do all that stuff. But yeah, Jelly's doing Ottawa Blues Fest, which is real good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hold on here. There was something else I wanted to do. If you would bear with me, if it pleases the court, I would like to take just a moment to collect my thoughts and my emotions.
Time's up.
No, shut up, Maury. I assume when time's up. Jesus. Oh, Post Malone set a release date for his F1 Trillion album. So that is now going to be August 16th.
Damn it, Posty.
Why? What's wrong with that? That seems close to me.
That's like the end of summer, man.
No, it's not.
August?
August is not the end of summer.
That's getting close to the end of summer.
You're not one of these summer ends in like
September.
September.
Yeah,
right?
after the long weekend.
No,
but this is a week before the long weekend.
Summer
girl.
ends the Monday after Labor Day weekend. That's the end of summer.
No.
Yes, that's the end of summer.
So the 5th?
Yes. Yeah. Summer ends on September 5th.
No. My birthday has to happen, and then summer is done.
When's your birthday?
August 6th.
You're born in the fall.
No,
I mean,
I'm not.
Sorry, you're born in the summer. You're born in the summer. Yeah,
you're
you're in the
still
summer. You're the summer.
It's still summer.
Yeah, September 5th.
But hold on a
summer
second.
ends.
Oh, Labor Day. Sorry, I thought you meant the other long weekend. Because I'm born on a long weekend. That's civic long weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Post Malone's
Sorry, I'm
album is too
confused.
late.
No,
It's
it's
at the end
not.
of yes. He's got these 2 songs out, right? Or one song out now. The Blake Shelton one's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I was expecting. I'm just a Post Malone fan. I just want that album out.
Anyway, okay, it's called F1 Trillion. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Love it.
August 16th.
Yes.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Baseball legend icon Willie Mays passed away yesterday. I feel terrible because I thought Willie Mays had passed already.
How old?
93.
Wow, what a life.
Willie Mays, like baseball pioneer, started off years ago in the Negro Leagues before joining the Giants in 1950. He retired in 73. He started playing pro ball in 1950. The man played pro baseball for 23 years.
Legend. Wow. Legend.
23 years.
Yo, athletes don't do that now.
No. 660 home runs, 3,200 hits, 1 World Series win, which happened in 1954. Here's a little bit of Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays from a
Are you Willie Mays, the greatest baseball player of all time?
I don't do that. So many things happen with me on the baseball field that I could just look back and just replay every moment. I never had a day where somebody would not come up and say, I saw you make a play, I love you because of what you did for me, and it made me feel very, very proud because not only did I play baseball for the people, they enjoyed what I did.
Aww. And you, Roz, were there for his first game, rookie year, right?
I was a season ticket holder.
Yeah. Willie.
Yeah, that was from the HBO documentary Say Hey, Willie Mays. Yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember it well.
Yeah. It was a hot day.
It was hot.
Lemonade was flowing that day.
Oh, I know. Everybody's uniforms were so thick.
Go get him, Willie.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Anthony Mackie was doing one of those roundtables for the Hollywood Reporter for comedic actors, which is interesting. And he was talking about how he doesn't do selfies with fans. And this was, I guess, based on because there's been a few people who have come out to talk about the interactions that they've had with Anthony Mackie over the last little while. So do you want to hear Anthony Mackie first or a fan that trashed Anthony Mackie?
I want to hear Anthony Mackie.
Okay, so let's listen to Anthony Mackie.
You know, because of the Kardashians, we're kind of put in this reality where we're looked at as tools, as vessels, as opposed to artists. And there's been several experiences now where people have taken a picture with me and used them for ways that I don't deem, the right way. So because of that, I choose not to be a part of your social reality. I have people tell me all the time, well, this is what you signed up for. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like telling a girl that because she got put on a cute dress and went to a bar, she signed up for me to harass her all night.
Nope.
No. No, in this day and age, we literally learn that we have to respect everyone's no. So if I tell you no, respect it.
You think
Wrong,
that
wrong comparison, Anthony Mackie.
You think, Anthony Mackie, that you being a movie star and having a fan walk up to you, a fan, and ask for a picture is the same as a woman being sexually harassed in a bar?
He's comparing harassment because he thinks he's getting harassed.
Yeah. The wrong comparison.
Bro, anyway, so
Terrible.
here is somebody from TikTok. Her name is Lacey Cole. She tells this story about meeting Anthony Mackie at a gas station.
So I just met Anthony Mackie, and let me just say, rudest human being alive. I pulled up to a gas station. Here Anthony Mackie comes in this huge truck, all blacked out, all sleek, windows down. So it's like, also, if you don't want people to come up to you and say how much they appreciate your work, why the are all your windows down and you're blasting music, smoking a cigar? So I park my car, getting ready to pump my gas. I see Anthony Mackie across the lot. I gently walk up to him, being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to bother. Tell me why Anthony Mackie did this. No. No. To my face. No.
Come on, Anthony Mackie. You're new Captain America and everything, but
no. And I get, listen, you can sort of understand you don't like being harassed, you don't like doing all that stuff, but it's how you interact with those people when you turn down a picture. Right?
How do you do it, Roz?
There's there's just a lot of people like there. You see people out all the time. There's so many. Everything is on video now, but there's so many stars that walk out of a hotel, and you've heard stars before. Maybe it was Scarlett Johansson, one of those sort of like at that level where they were like, "I don't do autographs," right? But I'll do a selfie with you. But you can hear them say all the time, "I don't do autographs," because people don't do autographs because then they go off and they sell them, right? And it's not cool. But they're cool about it. They're not going like, "No."
Yeah. Why not just have like a quick conversation? Maybe say, hey,
busy,
thanks.
on my way, love you, thanks for the support.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Right?
Done.
Gotta move.
I once waited at a stage door for Annie Lennox, and the rule was you either get a photo or an autograph. She wasn't doing both.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
How do you pick?
It's Annie Lennox. It's the stage door.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There is a new record for the most expensive house sold in California. So a guy named James Jennard, who founded Oakley Sunglasses in 1975.
Love Oakley.
So he bought this place in Malibu in 2012 for $75 million. Now,
before you say the price, do you have details on size and how many bedrooms and bathrooms?
For sure. Now, keep in mind, what makes this so expensive is its location. So it's 9.5 acres on the Malibu coast with 300 feet of ocean coastline that you own. Okay. It's 15,000 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, huge courtyard, gym, 2 guest houses. Now, the previous record in California that was set not that long ago is when Jay-Z and Beyonce bought their place.
Okay.
They had previously purchased what was, at that time, the most expensive house ever sold in California. They paid $200 million.
Oh, wow. My guess was going to be way less than that. Yeah. So this guy's Malibu home. Do we know who his neighbors are?
I don't know because you got 9 acres, so I don't think it matters who your neighbors are.
Yeah. Canada.
It could very well be Jay-Z and Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nevada, right? Like that's your
Canada and then Hawaii.
Yeah. Like
okay. So if the previous record was J and B and it was over 2, I'm gonna say this guy like 310.
210. So he beat them by $10 million, which I know doesn't sound like it's a big win, but it's $10 million more.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of house.
Yeah. Can you believe the Oakley guy?
Sunglasses.
I can believe
Those
it.
douchey sunglasses? Dude bros making that guy this rich?
God, why you got to say that? After like a minute and a half ago, I said I love Oakleys.
Oh, did you?
You did.
No. Do you have Oakleys?
I do. Like
you
through
do?
there.
Really?
I love Oakleys.
You do? I've
Yes.
tried. I can't.
They also have like reading glasses too.
I can't.
Yeah, we'll get you
In
some
case you need
readers.
those.
No, I can't.
We'll get you some readers.
I can't with
Yeah.
the Oakleys.
Why?
I look like trash.
You'll be fine
with Oakleys on.
No, we'll get you a
even
set.
back in the day when everybody was like, "Oh my God, Oakleys." I could never wear
Yeah,
them.
I love Oakleys.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now they're back in.
Yeah.
Those like big,
Yeah.
big sunglasses.
Yeah. No.
All the
These
guys
would have
are
to be
wearing them.
prescription, no?
Yeah. No.
No, like the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Those big ones.
Yeah. No.
They look like ski goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Bret Hart. Or sorry,
Yeah.
as you know, I'm Sam Hart.
Sam Hart,
Yeah.
yep.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Ted Conklin, the owner of the American Hotel in the Hamptons, said that they would welcome Justin Timberlake back with open arms.
Yeah?
And they have no plans to ban him, mainly because they say he was a model customer while he was there. Ted says that Justin was a great guest and a nice guy. He wouldn't get into a lot of the details about when Timberlake was there, except to say, and he made it clear that the restaurant did not overserve him and the staff acted properly. This is after the drunk driving arrest.
Because he drunk someone else's drink.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, too. He didn't comment on that either. Timberlake's next court appearance is the July 26th.
Which is where he was supposed to play at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, no.
He can still do both.
Can he Zoom that?
No,
your
because
court
you
case-
can
your court
just
will be done
drive.
by night.
You can just drive.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
The
New York.
Hamptons.
It's New York. He's good.
Where's
He's
that,
good.
Jersey?
No, Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. Okay.
They can helicopter him in.
Jessica Biel, I don't even think she went out there because she's shooting a new show called The Better Sister in New York City, and she was on set yesterday, like all day. They saw her on
when
set,
this
so I don't
happened.
even think she went out there, to be honest with you. But an old clip of Justin Timberlake telling Britney Spears to quit drinking has gone viral. This is from 2007, and Timberlake was accepting a Brit Award in a pre-recorded message, and it was very tumultuous with he and Britney at the time. This is during her breakdown, the shaved head incident, everybody going in on her. And so during his speech, he decided to sort of covertly, I guess, give Britney a message.
Stop drinking. You know who you are. I'm speaking to you. Stop drinking. You're going to get sloppy. OK is going to say something bad about you.
So that went viral. And I don't know if you saw Britney Spears' post, but she's in Vegas living it up. And the only thing she had to say yesterday was a picture of a cocktail, beautiful looking cocktail. And all she wrote was, "It's the little things, you know?"
Oh, in your face, JT.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Howie Mandel out here having to do some damage control on damage control. So he goes on Kelly and Mark, right? Kelly Ripa and her husband Mark, that show. And he tells this story of his wife who they were in Vegas and she fell and like broke her face.
What?
Like broke her cheek. And the pictures of her, she is black and blue everywhere.
Like recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he has to go. He has like, if you're famous and your wife shows up like that, you have to tell the story of how it really happened over and over and over again so people don't think it's something else, right? So this is the way he first described it with Kelly and Mark.
We're out for dinner at Poppy's, which is, I'm going to plug it again, but it was the best dinner we had.
Delicious.
And we partied like it was too much.
Yes.
Like it was too much, and she was tipsy.
Okay.
I did not know that. And in the middle of the night, she got up, and I don't know where she was headed, but she headed into the wall. I heard
we didn't know
bang, and and I woke up and I went, "Where are you?" And she went, "I don't know." That's what she said.
Damn.
Okay. So then after he does this, everybody then starts saying, "Oh my God, does Howie's wife have a drinking problem?" So it becomes a funny story about something that he needed to clarify because she was actually banged up to now people are concerned that does Howie's wife have a drinking problem? So then Howie has to do damage control on damage control and go on TMZ to clarify what it actually was.
First of all, she wasn't drunk. She's so worried that people are going to intervene and with her alcohol problem. She doesn't have an alcohol problem. I'm going to tell you the truth. She took gummies. She took gummies.
Oh, no.
So it's not an alcohol problem. She was on pot. Now, I tell the story because I just trying to be, I said we had a great night and we got a little tipsy and she got out of bed in the middle of the night and fell, and it was really scary. I put her on the bed and I tried to give her ice, and I didn't have ice, and I gave her cans of soda to put on her head, and she kept going, that kills, and she threw them across the room, and I went and got another can of soda because I didn't know that it was cut so bad, and I didn't want to stop swelling, and she threw that across the room, and then finally I saw the bone. I could see the bone. Yeah, so I called down to the front desk, and I say to them, I got to call 911. They go, what happened? I go, I don't know, but there's blood everywhere. They go, we're sending security up. They send security up. My wife is lying in the bed. There's blood everywhere. There's Coke cans that have been strewn across the room.
So my God. So they thought you were they thought you did it.
They've got me against the TV. They're taking pictures.
Shoot.
Oh my gosh.
And my wife, who has, you might think a great sense of humor. We got back to the hotel and she's opening the door to the room. We're going back in the room. Another couple is coming out and going out for breakfast. And she goes, Howie, I promise I'll be a good girl and never say no, that's not funny. That is not funny.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Vegas was not it for them that weekend. No. Wow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
LCBO strike that may wind up happening on July 5th is crazy.
Well, thank God the long weekend is saved.
Yeah, but after that, what are you going to do? The big question is, what are the bars and restaurants going to do? Because you may not know this, but that is also where bars and restaurants get their booze from.
What?
Like, it's not like they get it from
like a supplier.
A supplier. They don't go direct. Like, if you sell alcohol anywhere, you have to buy it from the LCBO. You can order it and have it delivered, but everything. Beer comes from the beer store.
And
which is
there's not the same strike. Like they're not connected.
No.
Not the same union.
No, beer stores is like a foreign-owned company. The LCBO is a government-run.
Wait, when is this happening?
July 5th. So they're now saying LCBO management is saying that in the event of a strike, it has measures in place to ensure continued service, which includes service to their wholesale customers, which are bars and restaurants. So they're saying that they have a plan in place, although although the people who are owning bars and restaurants have not heard that plan yet, and this may go into effect July 5th.
Is it make your own booze?
You better start.
Yeah. I think the fair thing to do is for them to work out a deal with restaurants and bars.
Yeah. So this, of course, is the strike is happening after it was announced. The strike is pending after the government announced that they will allow convenience stores to sell alcohol and premixed cocktails as of September. So that's the big sticking point, and apparently the negotiations are not going well.
Great.
So it may wind up being that bars and restaurants are the only place you'll be able to buy vodka. Right? That's like, or tequila or whatever, because you cannot buy it anywhere else. So you can't go, like, that's the thing, right? Like, I love the LCBO. I love the people that work there. I get along, but maybe it's time that the government isn't running this like it is everywhere else in the world.
Yeah. I think
everywhere else in the world, you can go to a grocery store and buy a bottle of tequila.
I know. I think everyone agrees with that statement because everyone feels the exact same way. Is that we are so restricted here.
But we have had this thing for so long where, like, every government that we've had has been like, oh my God, alcohol. You can't let people sell alcohol. The government has to sell alcohol. Everywhere else in the world does. It's like when they said, remember the drinking in parks? You can't have somebody have a beer in a park. Yeah.
And then what happened? What happened during that pilot project?
Nothing.
It was fine.
It was fine.
People
Thank
were
you.
happy.
Yes. Anyway, so that's that.
What about Buck of Beer? They're going to bring that back? That was a huge success. Remember, guys?
Buck of Beer?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jason Kelsey says that he's tired of country music. I don't know what that means, but here's Jason.
Why?
If I have to hear one more country song that's like, I got my boots in my truck going through the fields. That's not country music. That's not country music. Put on some Willie Nelson. I am tired of country music and what it has become. Hey, listen, some of it sounds good. It's the same thing with hip hop. It sounds good when you're in a club.
Okay.
Damn, Jason.
I guess.
Chill, dog.
I think that just all music is just starting to sound the same now. All genres of music are starting to sound the same. Country sounding like pop, rock is sounding like country, which is sounding like, but like all genres are starting to sound the same. Everything is starting to sound the same.
They've all just blended, I think. Go ahead, Maria, sorry.
I'm just saying, I think mainstream country is starting to sound like pop. There are a lot of other artists that are still country.
But all those subgenres that we used to have, right, are all now starting to sound the exact same.
They don't exist anymore.
They don't exist. Nothing exists.
Because everyone crosses over, right?
Yes, because you got to do that if you want to survive.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Queen's catalog, the band Queen, this is a huge thing that bands do when they get older, but even younger artists, like Bieber sold his catalog off, right? Am I wrong about that? He did, right? And it's a huge thing because it's like massive amounts of dollars, but Queen, like legendary band with so many hits, they just sold their catalog to Sony for $1.27 billion.
Billion would it be?
Billion.
Bruh. How old are these guys or girls?
Queen?
Queen, Brian May.
They are. I mean, they started in the 60s, I guess, right? Queen. Yeah.
Are they all alive?
No, Freddie Mercury's dead. Right?
Oh, right.
Brian May, 76.
Yeah. So they're like 76.
So then, like the estate of Freddie Mercury will get
like
a piece.
Yeah, lots.
But they get to continue to make money off touring, though.
Yeah, because they tour with Adam Lambert, right?
Oh,
he's
right.
He's the sort of singer.
So $1.27
billion.
Wow.
For the entire catalog.
Billion, yes.
So how does it work then when they do go on tour and they perform those songs? Like now now everything belongs to Sony.
Yes.
So a portion of that tour money goes to Sony, and then they get to keep merchandise.
No, they still can tour the songs. They can perform the songs
and still keep the money.
They just can't.
Unfair.
Like, okay, so you remember when the movie Bohemian Rhapsody came out with Rami Malek,
Yes.
right? It did very, very well. So that was all the Queen music. So Queen is in charge of the music. They were in charge of the movie. They licensed it. So they got huge money off that movie, right? In the case now, like let's say they wanted to do Queen 2 or Bohemian Rhapsody 2, that money then would
of Queen.
Yes, right? That money would then go to Sony. For the licensing of all the music.
And what do they care? They got $1.27 billion.
God.
They are the champions.
Right? Yeah, every hockey game, we are the champions. Every sporting event, we are the champions.
Yeah.
Right? Like you hear it just like it's a money machine, those songs. Another one bites the dust, like all that stuff,
Stop me
right?
now, because we're having a good time.
Yeah, it's a
But
lot.
they're all old.
They're all old.
So why not? Just sell off the catalog.
Cash
but
out.
the music will live on.
Cash out.
Yeah.
But this is so that their family, they can give the money to their family and stuff now.
They've given their family enough, believe me.
Like,
I don't even know how much
did
they've
it.
given them their family, but they've given their family enough.
Yeah, this is for them.
Yes.
This is their
and I would
payout.
die empty.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, if you were putting off booking any travel plans because you thought that there was going to be a strike with the WestJet mechanics, in a statement by WestJet, they say that the union who represents the mechanical workers with WestJet has rescinded its strike notice as both parties agree to return to the bargaining table in hopes to find a resolution in order to avoid further network disruptions. So go ahead, is what they're saying.
Okay.
Because as it is right now, it's not looking like there is going to be some sort of strike in the near future anyway. God, everybody's on strike. Everybody's going on strike.
So what about all those canceled flights from WestJet? Do they rebook
I
them?
don't know. That's
There
the whole.
was a
There was a
news story.
whole
People are
bunch.
stranded.
Yeah, there was a whole ton of flights that got canceled. I don't know. I don't know what they do about those.
There was like a really cute guy on the news going, I don't know how I'm going to get to my job.
Okay.
How cute was he?
Muscular.
Yes.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gayle King was out here defending Justin Timberlake yesterday on her show, talking about how the DWI arrest doesn't reflect him as a person, which is weird. Here's Gayle King.
But Justin Timberlake is a really, really great guy. Listen, this is clearly a mistake. I bet nobody knows it more than he.
A stupid mistake.
Exactly, and he knows that. But he's not an irresponsible person. He's not reckless. He's not careless. Clearly, this is not a good thing. He knows that. I love when they stopped Billy Joel and Billy Joel said, wait, not everybody judged at this particular time.
She did go on to say that there's never an excuse for driving drunk and that he should have called a cab. But that to me sounds like she was letting him off, right?
Big time. He knew what he was doing when he got in that car.
That's a very wild thing for Gayle King to say on television.
He knew what he was doing when he kept drinking.
Like, I get it when, something like a lot of celebrities get into trouble and then you can say, listen, he made a stupid mistake, but it's not him. He doesn't reflect that. But to say that about somebody who got popped for drinking and driving?
Yeah. That's such a stupid crime.
Gayle King.
Stupid behavior.
What you doing?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jacob Elordi is the latest star to be.
Who's that again? Remind me who that is?
Saltburn.
No, Jacob Elordi from Euphoria.
Euphoria. Sorry, my bad. Euphoria. Also Saltburn.
Yeah.
He's Saltburn.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking,
in the bathtub.
100% right.
Yeah. Yes. He's the one that took the bath.
Yeah.
Not the one that licked the bath. He's the one that owned the dirt, not the one that owned the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, his face was slapped on a deep fake, and the post featured an explicit video of a guy alone, which had Jacob Elordi's face digitally superimposed on him, circulated on X on Monday. The post has since been removed with a message saying that this post violates X's rules. The post containing the video had been viewed 3 million times before it was eventually removed. Also, according to reports, the actual original person in the video was only 17 when they made the video. And that actual guy from the video posted on X saying, just trying to ignore it. And then he went on to say, that's literally my video. LMAO, deepfake is getting creepy. So he doesn't seem to care.
But nobody would have known it was you if you didn't say anything.
Somebody else said who it was. Somebody else said.
This is.
Yes. Because it was clearly not Jacob Elordi, right? And it was weird that, like, the reason that people were, like, debating whether it was Jacob Elordi, it wasn't the fact that
it looked fake.
Why would he do this? It was they were going in on, like, he doesn't have his mole. You know what I mean? Like, it was
analyzing.
Body
features.
Yeah, like it wasn't like
that's weird.
Yeah, it wasn't like let's all assume that this is a deep fake, and it's not him because let me watch it again. It's not him. He doesn't have a mole there or whatever it was. So, did you see that they were selling records, the soundtrack to Saltburn, and pressed inside the record is bathwater?
Yeah, brilliant.
A little tint of color to that. Water as well.
There was. You're right. There was a hue.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm stressed.
How many did you order, cheesecake?
None.
Come on.
Don't start that rumor.
No.
10 for me.
He's got one for work and one for home. And one for in the car that he hangs from the rearview mirror.
I was going to say it's not paper towel, but I feel like that's so much worse.
Wow. Come on now. We don't do that. I mean, I guess we do, but let's just not do it now, okay?
You're giving out too many secrets there, cheesecake. Bruh, your life is over. Stay away from the DMs.
Anyway, those deepfakes are crazy. Crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
According to legal documents obtained by TMZ, the two plaintiffs who had sued Madonna for starting her concerts late voluntarily dismissed their suit with prejudice, which usually indicates, they say, some sort of agreement was reached with the parties. However, one source with direct knowledge also tells TMZ that there was actually no settlement struck between Madonna and the plaintiffs, and these guys dismissed the lawsuit on their own accord. So were they paid? Was there a settlement? Who knows? One side is saying yes, one side saying no.
Maybe they got like free concert tickets, like front row or floor seats.
I highly doubt it.
Or they just like
because
it's not worth the fight.
Because do you think that Madonna wants that on social?
Oh yeah.
Hey, we won. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she doesn't want that on. She doesn't want those two fans that sued her at her concert.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with
money
free
and
tickets. Yeah, like there's no way. But because we will never know, the great thing is that this is probably the last we can ever talk about it.
Yay!
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Elon Musk, who is a genius, but also he's talked about before how he has Asperger's. And oftentimes when you are listening to Elon Musk or anybody with Asperger's, they have a way about them where a lot of things that other people may, feel important about or passionate about or they get emotional about, they're just very nonchalant and deadpan about the whole thing. They understand what's going on. Again, genius. But every now and then you get into subject matter where you're like, wow, this should really be hitting you differently. But the way that you're describing this seems like it's just not a thing at all. Listen to Elon Musk talking about how he doesn't want to end up like John Lennon. Okay.
We actually did have 2 homicidal maniacs in the last roughly 7 months come to aspirationally try to kill me and a bunch of other people. And there wasn't like an actual issue that they articulated. They were just, in the homicidal maniac career. So I do need to be kind of careful. Forces me to be a bit more sort of standoffish. So now I've stopped signing things because that would be a sure way to homicidal maniac. I'll just have to sign something and then shoot him. Think of John Lennon, who was singing about hey, can't we all just be nice to each other? And then he got shot, by one of his fans.
Oh my God.
You're okay. We'll try to avoid that.
My guy, we'll go on.
Let's try to avoid that. So we'll try to avoid that. Wow. I love him.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kylie Jenner breaking down in tears on that Kardashian show. So what happened was there was a picture of Kylie Jenner from Paris Fashion Week that was released back in January. That's when they recorded this episode. And the photo was released, and I guess she had minimal makeup on. And this wasn't a picture that she was in charge of, so they couldn't run it through the Kardashian editing machine.
Got it.
That they do with all their pictures. And then so people were commenting on the picture. But not only that, dermatologists and professionals were commenting on the picture because you could see where she had Botox and the fillers and everything else. So here is Kylie Jenner talking about that.
It's like therapy. When you're in therapy and you start talking about something. I've never cried about this before, but I guess it does affect me. It's okay. It would affect anyone. And then I'll see some comments and it's where some people be like, this is really mean and defend me. Why are we talking about her looks? It's 2024. And then I'll see other comments because she did it to herself. She her face. She has so much surgery. And I'm even if I did get so much surgery and I have this and I got all these things, I still don't think it's okay to talk about someone's looks. I agree. People have been talking about my looks since I was 12, 13. Yeah. Before I even got lip filler, people talk about my looks. Yeah. So it's and it's just so hurtful. I look old. I see it under every post. I'm not even just saying this. You've never looked younger and you've never looked better. Thank you.
Damn. Listen.
But you did the things.
But when your whole life is creating a thing that is artificial, and that's your brand, right? Everything is tucked in a picture and a filter and a this and a this and a this. When somebody sees a picture of you without all of that, it's like, whoa.
That does not look like you.
It doesn't look like it.
The natural, real you does not, to us at least, look like you.
Right. Also, that family led by Kim has influenced an entire generation of young women to mutilate their bodies.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't even think Kendall
mutilate
and Kylie.
their bodies. That's the influence they have.
What happened, Maria?
I was just saying, I don't even think Kendall and Kylie have had good role models, considering Kim and all the older sisters have been plasticking themselves up for years. So obviously they're going to follow suit, considering they're much younger. And then this generation of girls who watch them are going to do the same.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. But when you look at the picture, she does, it's not that she doesn't look bad in the picture, Maris. She looks, but she doesn't look like her.
Right. But you're saying she doesn't look bad. That's to us normal people, right?
Yes. But to
them, in their world.
Right.
That's not her.
But the shine was off, right? So did she not look perfect? Yeah, no, she didn't look perfect. Did she look bad? No, she didn't look bad, but it wasn't the thing.
Yeah.
Right? And when you don't have the thing, you can see the process.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is the thing that people are not given access to, is the process, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh my God, the flooding on all the highways today. I was just looking at pictures of I guess it was the gardener. wolf, like water right up to the middle of the door kind of
Someone
thing.
had to be rescued.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like rescued? Like
yeah, there was a story that there was a car on the garden or underneath somewhere, and there was flooding, and fire had to come and get him.
Oh my God!
So is everything clear now? Like, because we can't see.
I mean, there's trees down in the
Like, am
city.
I going to be able to get home?
I think that you'll be able to get home. If you could get in, I think you'll be able to get home because I don't think it got worse after you got here. I think that you had driven through the worst of it, which was overnight.
Terrible when I.
Yeah.
I was on the DVP at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was like torrential. Like you couldn't even see.
How fast were you driving?
100.
You were doing 100. What do you normally do?
Like 110.
Okay. What do you normally do?
No, 110 on the
okay.
DVP.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I mean, I drive the speed limit. It's 90.
Yeah.
I was going. Sorry. I was driving 80.
Yes.
Now that I think about it and really remember, because it was so terrible.
Oh, yes.
And you could barely see.
Yes.
I had my lights on. I had my hands at 10 and 2 on the wheel. I had the music low so I could concentrate on my surroundings.
Good for you.
And I was even though the speed limit says
Yes.
90,
Yeah.
suggested, I was going 80.
Okay, good for you.
And I made it to work.
Good for you.
Safe.
Yes.
Used my signal. Used the windshield wipers
Good
front
for
and
you.
back.
Good for you. Yeah.
Everything was great.
Yeah. There's always a cop on the Gardner when I come in and they hide during, there's like a little break of construction and they hide there, right?
I know all the spots.
And the Gardner in the morning is crazy because it's empty, right? But I don't even know, like if I got pulled over for speeding, like if the cop asked me, do you know how fast you're going? I would tell him. And then if he asked me, do you know what the speed limit is on the Gardner? I would have no idea because to me, the Gardner, you go 4. Right? Any other time you're on the Gardner,
sure, yeah.
you're doing 4.
Yeah.
So
It's
when there's
slow.
when there's
How
no
fast are you going? I'm slow.
When there's no cars on there, you just drive the Gardner, and if you feel free. Like when you're on the Gardner in the middle of the night and there's no cars, it is really a freeing feeling.
Oh, yeah.
But if I ever got pulled over and somebody asked me what the speed limit is, I have no idea because normally in your life you never go faster than 4. Like
I don't
that's
know.
the max.
What is the
I don't know what the
Gardner?
speed limit is on the Gardner.
I think it's 90.
Is it 90?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the
think.
route that, so Maria and I live same neighborhood, and we take the same route into work.
Yes.
Do you know all the spots, all the hiding spots for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on any given,
5?
there are 5 spots, and on any given day, I see at least 3 of them. And
I've
I'm
been
like,
pulled over at 2 of them.
I'm like, yo, I know where you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you do that thing when you drive by them where you point your own eyes and then point it down?
Nope, because I keep my eyes on the road.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.